Imagine boarding a cruise ship for a dream vacation to Alaska. 7 days of glaciers, wildlife, and peace. Now imagine vanishing into thin air on day 1. Your luggage still in your cabin, your medications untouched, your return flight waiting for you back home. This isn't a movie plot. This is what happened to Merrian Carver. On August 27, 2004, 40-year-old Merrian stepped onto the Celebrity Mercury cruise ship in Seattle. She was a former investment banker from Massachusetts, recently divorced, looking for time to heal and reset her life. She told friends she needed solitude, space to think. But Merrian never came home. When her father tried to find answers, the cruise line told him she'd simply gotten off the ship in Alaska and walked away. But here's what they didn't mention. Her prescription medications, the ones she needed every single day, were still in her cabin. Her luggage was still there. Her return flight ticket went unused. And the most chilling part? By the time her family realized she was missing, her cabin had already been cleaned, her belongings packed away by crew members, and any potential evidence gone. What happened to Merrian Carver? And why did it take her father's investigation to uncover that she wasn't alone? That approximately 300 people have vanished from cruise ships since the year 2000. This is the story of a woman who vanished at sea, and the dark secrets the cruise industry doesn't want you to know. If you're new to Faceless Justice, hit that subscribe button right now. We cover the cases that deserve answers, the ones that fall through the cracks. We're on a mission to reach 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 watch hours so we can keep bringing you these stories. Your subscription literally keeps these investigations alive. Turn on notifications so you never miss a case. Now let's dive into what really happened. Merrian Lynn Carver wasn't running from anything. She was running toward healing. At 40 years old, she'd built a successful career as an investment banker, but her recent divorce had left her emotionally drained. Friends described her as intelligent, independent, and resilient. This Alaska cruise was supposed to be her fresh start. She booked a solo cabin on the Celebrity Mercury, a massive ship carrying over 1,800 passengers. The itinerary promised stops in Juneau, Skagway, and Ketchikan, some of the most beautiful ports in Alaska. The ship departed Seattle on August 27, 2004. According to Celebrity Cruises official records, Merrian disembarked in Juneau on August 28, just 1 day into the cruise, and never returned to the ship. But her father, Kendall Carver, didn't know any of this. He wasn't expecting to hear from Merrian during the cruise. Cell service in Alaska was spotty, and she'd mentioned wanting to disconnect. It wasn't until September 3rd, when Merrian failed to show up for her return flight from Seattle to Boston, that Kendall knew something was terribly wrong. He immediately called Celebrity Cruises. Their response would haunt him forever. Before we continue, drop a comment below if you've ever been on a cruise ship. Did you feel safe? Did you notice security cameras? Your experiences matter. And if you think this story needs to be heard, smash that like button. Every like pushes this video to more people who need to know the truth about cruise ship safety. When Kendall contacted Celebrity Cruises, they told him Merrian had simply gotten off the ship in Juneau and never came back. Case closed, as far as they were concerned. But Kendall wasn't buying it. He pressed for details. That's when the story started falling apart. Merrian's luggage was still in her cabin. All of it. Her clothes, her toiletries, her books, everything she'd packed for a 7-day cruise. Most critically, her prescription medications were still there, untouched. These weren't optional pills. Merrian needed them daily for a medical condition. Would someone planning to leave a cruise ship voluntarily abandon their essential medications? Kendall demanded to see surveillance footage. Celebrity Cruises claimed there was none of Merrian disembarking in Juneau. He asked for witness statements from passengers or crew who might have seen her leave. Nothing substantial was provided. Then came the most disturbing revelation. Merrian's cabin had been cleaned and her belongings packed up by crew members before anyone even reported her missing. Any potential evidence, fingerprints, signs of struggle, personal notes, had been wiped away. The FBI got involved, but they hit a wall immediately. The Celebrity Mercury was registered in Liberia, the disappearance occurred in international waters, and maritime law created a jurisdictional nightmare. Celebrity Cruises had no legal obligation to preserve evidence beyond a certain time frame, and by the time investigators got involved, that window had closed. Crew members who might have seen something, already reassigned to other ships across the globe, impossible to track down. This is where it gets even darker. If you're feeling angry right now, channel that into action. Share this video. Send it to someone who needs to know what can happen when cruise lines operate in legal gray zones. And stick with me, because what Kendall discovered next will shock you. As Kendall dug deeper into his daughter's disappearance, he stumbled onto something that changed everything. Merrian wasn't the first. She wasn't even close. According to maritime law expert Dr. Ross Klein, a former FBI agent who studied cruise ship crimes extensively, approximately 300 people have vanished from cruise ships since the year 2000. That's roughly 20 people per year who simply disappear into the ocean. And those are just the reported cases. Before 2010, cruise lines operated in what can only be described as a lawless zone. They weren't required to report crimes to authorities. They weren't required to install surveillance cameras in key areas. They weren't required to preserve crime scenes or maintain evidence. They controlled everything: the scene, the narrative, the investigation. The Cruise Vessel Security and Safety Act wasn't passed until 2010, 6 years after Merrian disappeared. This legislation finally required cruise lines to report crimes, maintain video surveillance, and train crew members in evidence preservation. But for Merrian and hundreds of others, it came too late. Kendall discovered case after case: people who vanished without a trace, families who got stonewalled by cruise lines, investigations that went nowhere because evidence had been destroyed or lost. Young honeymooners, elderly passengers, solo travelers, all gone. The cruise industry's dirty secret was out. When someone disappears at sea, the cruise line controls everything. By the time families realize something's wrong, the ship has docked, passengers have scattered to the winds, and crucial evidence has been scrubbed clean. 300 people, 20 per year. Let that sink in. Now tell me in the comments, which theory do you believe? Was it an accident, suicide, or foul play? And if you think cruise lines need stricter oversight, hit that like button. Your engagement keeps these cases in the public eye. So what really happened to Merrian Carver? Let's examine the 3 main theories. Theory 1. Accidental overboard. Some investigators believe Merrian accidentally fell overboard, perhaps while leaning over a railing to take photos or during rough seas. But this theory has serious problems. Cruise ship railings are required to be at least 42 inches high, making accidental falls extremely rare for adults. You'd essentially have to climb over them. Plus, no passengers or crew reported seeing or hearing anything unusual that night. Theory 3. Foul play. Her cabin was next to crew quarters. Her belongings were found in a crew member's bag, and the crew waited 12 hours to report her missing. 12 hours. Merrian deserves justice. So do the other 299. Subscribe right now, smash that notification bell, drop your theory below, and share this story. We're not stopping until every case is solved.